Hello, I'm DK Rosta, and welcome to the TTT News Special. We are about to speak with Shanice George, a young lady who is changing the game with regard to gourmet catering. And someone told me DK is not the regular box food business. And she seems to cook with love, and people feel that love. So we say, hello, Shanice, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you, but I want to get a little idea, the history of Peckish 868, please.
Right. So I started cooking probably if I can remember, around 10, 11. And at 15, I was cooking a full Sunday lunch, cooking for our family lines. And no, I wasn't doing catering as yet. Well, yeah, just cooking for family and lines at home. And after high school, I wanted to go to chef school, but I didn't want to go to hotel school. So I went to UE St. Augustine to pursue a degree in agriculture. I did that. I finished. I started to work and I got a job in the field of agriculture working Cardi. And it just so happened that I wasn't meant to stay in the 8 to 4. My contract ended and I was waiting for it to renew. I also started Peckish while working there. So I was waiting for it to renew and it just was not possible. So I just fully ventured into catering and this was 3 years ago. So I'm now a full-time caterer. I do weddings, events, sushi, you name it. No Creole food, gourmet only.
Okay, so how do you draw those lines and say, okay, well, I may be using these ingredients, but this is not Creole food, it's gourmet.
Um, well, it's not the typical stewed chicken or pork. It's just, I guess, using the same ingredients differently, I'd say.
And right now we actually see some of those ingredients and the way that you would prepare it, and they're looking fancy, Shanice. But but and
Yes.
and that also makes me want to ask about some of the differences that you do, because like you said, you use the same ingredients, but there is something that we will show a little later where I think you use plantain as something to dip, and it was in a champagne glass or a cocktail glass.
Yeah.
And was it plantain with saltfish
Yes, it was.
in
It was the plantain chip. The plantain was fried, like, well, typical plantain chips, and you're using it as a spoon, basically, and you're eating it while you're dipping it in the saltfish. So it's like a medium to pick up the saltfish.
you talk that talk, you make me feel like a jab for 2 seconds. But at the same time, so where did you learn this? Is this just coming out of your imagination? Because yes, you said 10 to 11, and you were from at about 15, you were able to make the full Sunday lunch. But where did these ideas come from? Because it's not, you just said you didn't go to UE to learn that.
I grew up with my godmother, and she lived in England one time. She was in Africa, South Africa. So she had a lot of influence in the way I cook. She loved African food and just different parts of the world that she would have visited. She used to tell me about the food and the ingredients, and that's where it stemmed from. So my liking for gourmet food, I guess you can blame it on her. Shuma.
All right, and I like the fact that you're calling Sherma's name, so we say blessings to you as well, because that allows us to be able to talk about sushi. So, so what's the story with the sushi? In the sense that, do you find the ingredients, are they hard to get, or is it that just you're taking same ingredients and using them differently?
Well, there are only like two places in Tobago that sells sushi ingredients. So I usually go to Trinidad once a month and buy it in bulk and bring it over and just create rolls. I change my rolls. I create rolls every 6 to 8 months. I change the menu. And I learned how to make sushi from a Japanese chef that visited Trinidad at Peach Patisserie. about 3 years ago. I did a sushi course with him, and I learned the basics, and I just created rolls after that. Sometimes I have taste testing, and I'll have family and friends come over to taste the different rolls I create, and then we'll approve and add it to the menu.
And what is some of the feedback that you're getting from the sushi rolls in particular?
Um, Majority of my sushi clients had sushi for the first time from me. I introduced it to their palate, and I have a lot of good feedback. A lot of persons like it because they were of the misconception that sushi is raw, and none of my sushi rolls are raw. Firstly, so after trying it, they fell in love.
And
So I now have a wide base of sushi clients in Tobago.
I want to jump in because I fast on some of your social media pages, and this is one of the reviews that we got. Every bite was an immense transition between seafood flavors and the complementing sauces. Perfect rice to seafood ratio. So when you see things like that, how does that make you feel? And it's 3 years that Peckish868 is a thing and existing.
Yeah, about 3 to 4 years. I feel elated. I am humble because honestly, when I really loved my job, when the contract didn't renew, I really loved that job, and it was hard to just give it up or just accept that you wouldn't be working there again. So now you have to do your thing because I really didn't want to apply for a next job. So seeing those reviews always make me happy and know that I made the right choice. It makes me really happy. I made the right choice to fully go into entrepreneurship and to just take the leap of faith with Peckish868.
And it sounds like you're rhyming, so we want to ball drag your bum, Miss Fiddler, but I also want to is more make out scene, Shanice. We're here for that. Because that was the most, I guess, formalized review. Then we had one person, they gave a review, they want to marry Shanice. I mean, like, I don't understand it. So I feel the need to ask you whether or not you're left-handed or right-handed for when the dumpling making. Because if this is what gourmet food tasting like, imagine when a dumpling need. And then we had one person, they actually took a picture of the meal or the box after, and they look like a straight archaeologist because it's your bone. The bone them clean. So apparently you're
I
doing
am
something right.
right-handed and I do not make dumplings. I don't ever make dumplings. So yeah.
All right, so I guess so the secret is not in that sauce, but there are also
No.
some sauces that you deal with apparently.
Yeah. I sometimes whatever is in season, I try to use those ingredients and make sauces like mango. I have a variety of different mango sauces. For sushi, I have a mango mayo. I have a mango chili shrimp. Um, I have a tropical sauce. I just my cooking is a fusion of different cultures. So I just play with ingredients. I play with everything basically.
All right, and on that
From
note,
sorrel to passion fruit to mango, everything.
I guess it also has you have a little influence from what is in season and stuff as well. But we continue the conversation when we return. We are speaking with Shanice George. She is the founder and owner of Peckish868. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are speaking with Shanice George of Peckish868. And Peckish868, as Shanice said, is about 3 to 4 years old. So Shanice, I want to know what kind of movements or challenges did the pandemic present to you? Because this is basically a newish business. So what are some of the things that you had to do to say, okay, well, Peckish868 is going to remain and possibly even thrive during this period?
Right before COVID hit, I was supposed to go abroad to do a culinary course for 8 months. It was paid for, and it was heartbreaking to know that I cannot leave. My ticket was already bought and everything. When COVID hit, like I was devastated for the first month or so. But then you know what? I just decided I have to make it work. I have to make it happen. I started doing private dinners for couples because at that time, you couldn't dine, food places were open, you can order food. So that's when I started doing private jobs. And I would say COVID propelled me into that direction because it was more food sales on a Friday, sushi on a Monday, healthy meals on a Wednesday, and medium-sized catering for events, etc. So COVID made me align into more intimate events and catering.
Okay, and with regard to that alignment, how do people contact you and say, okay, well, this is the idea that I have. How do we work towards implementing it? So how do we move from idea to us eating the food from Peckish 868?
Right. So most persons call, I get few emails, but most persons call and we discuss and then we take the conversation to WhatsApp where I'd send a quote and yeah, voila. Menus are made, and we plan for the event.
And one of the things that I saw looking at the images that you said, apart from just bad mind to the people who've been eating from Peckish 868, Shanice, is the fact that it looks so tasty. You know, sometimes you see something and it looks like, well, that look like it might be healthy, but it mightn't taste good. Or you look at something else and they say, it might taste nice, but it mightn't fill me, you know. But looking at these things, the portions look healthy as though they will be satisfying. The things look good as though you can't just take a little taste, according to my uncle, but wait, now that little piece you give me is just a dirty my mouth. So in terms of the different ways and the way that you present stuff, what goes into that? Is that more experiment?
Yeah, I guess it's just natural. I like my presentation must always be on point. So I just come up with different ways. I use the internet as well. You know, you could never not use the internet for anything. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of reading. I did some culinary courses this year in January at pastry, at Baking Academy, at Pastry Class TT, and at Batters and Bits. So I think all of those courses helped me, but no, that was only this year. So I guess it's just me. I can't say anything else. It's just me. It's just natural.
And we give thanks that you get that hard push and you're able to actually get into this, because it seems as though there's so much love and passion that goes in with it and is manifested and people taste it in each bite. But one of the things though, it seems as though there are different things to Peckish 868. And you spoke about sushi, you spoke about medium catering, you just spoke about cooking for couples, but it seems as though there's also a frozen line.
Yes, I want to introduce a frozen line very soon. I am currently working on shelf life, well, freezer life, and different recipes. And just experimenting with it for now, but it should be released before the year is out. I am very busy, so it's kind of hard to juggle everything at once. So,
But we give thanks for you being busy. And I'm wondering though, because you say, yes, it's just you, it's all natural, but you also said that you do research. So what are some of the things that you would do to say, okay, well, I'm going to name this offering, I'm going to give it this name? Because I see one name that you have is Under the Sea. Another name that you have is Fat Boy Combo. So what are some of the things that go into when you say, okay, well, I'm going to put this name on it?
Just look for attractive names, like you know, you just want to have a name that would attract a customer. Like when you hear the Fat Boy combo, you want to try it. You want to taste the Fat Boy combo. Under the sea, all types of seafood. Um, yeah, just want people to imagine when they hear the names before they can even taste the food.
Yeah, I feel we talking and I doing myself wickedness here, you know, because I see in pictures and you're explaining things to me and I'm feeling bad. But in terms of getting moving forward, doing your research and product development, shelf life or refrigeration life, what are some of the other things? Is there, because you say you're busy, but I want to know what's some of the favorite things that you like to cook, because you say a dodo dumpling. So what's one of your favorite things to cook? And is there any expansion? Because yes, I saw the chicken and waffles, but do you have any idea or intent to go a little more into pastry, baking, that side of things?
I would like to, but I don't really like baking or pastry. So in the future, if I can have a company where we have that aspected, I'd love that. But I personally prefer hot kitchen, which is dealing with food instead of baking. I'm not a fan of it. So yes, I would love to expand, but it will definitely come with hiring persons to do it.
Okay, and looking at the fact that some people may be looking at this now and saying, well, if she can do it, possibly I can do it. What are some of the lessons
Yeah.
that you might want to even tell Shanice 4 years ago in terms of starting this journey? Some things that you would have learned along the way?
I would tell people to focus, stay away from any form of distraction. Like social media distracts you so much. You compare yourself, you look at what everyone else is doing, and you're just not focused. So I would say focus and just tap into yourself and your potential. You know, the lane is not like just focus, just stay in your lane. You know, you don't need to see anybody, you don't need to compare yourself, you don't need to look at anybody as competition because everybody have their own gifts and talents and we just need to work on them. I strongly believe in growing. If you know you like something, go and research and find a course. Right now is the best time to learn something. I did 5 courses for the year so far. So, you know, it's never too late to learn something, ask for help, just develop yourself all around. Research, be innovative, you know, just come up with your own ideas, your own menus, your own sauces, whatever you like. I would say to just invest in it, focus, and execute.
And we want to thank you for actually investing in yourself, Shanice, and making people dribble on set right about now. We're not too happy about that, but we'll live. But thank you very much for what it is you're doing and letting your light shine. And we want, on behalf of the entire news team, I'm DK Roster, we want to thank you for joining us.